Now, Zoe, your polenta was delicious, but I need a little bit of meat in my diet. So what I'm going to do is my steak sandwich with some Asian slaw, and I'm going to do a sweet and sour glaze to go with it, which will be delicious.
Nice.
Now, what I've got is garlic cloves.
Yeah,
I've got two garlic cloves, but I think we'll just use one. If you can microplane that into the bowl there, that's our marinating bowl.
Get my garlic hands going.
There we go. And I've got some ginger as well to get the garlic off your hands. We're going to get you to microplane just a little bit. About a teaspoon of each is about right. Now, the sweet part of it, you use some honey, so I'm going to have to double up on the honey. We'll use it together. I'll put a nice big splush of honey in there, you know, probably 2-3 tablespoons. Or if you like it like me, just warm it up and add a heap of honey because it is delicious. I'm also going to add something that's really nice, is some ginger beer. You know,
okay,
it's,
interesting.
Yeah, just a little bit of ginger beer, nice big splash, something different. Now, the trick is if you are making a marinade, warm the honey up either in the microwave or put it somewhere warm so it's quite liquid and it sort of mixes everything in.
I'm smelling the ginger as you're putting the ginger beer in.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Fantastic,
so, like, we're doubling up on the honey and doubling up on the ginger as well. Give some lemon a bit of a squeeze, but squeeze that half through your fingers because it has got lots of pips in it. Now, for the oriental flavour, I've got some soy sauce. This is a dark soy, very strong, so just a couple of drops of that, maybe about a tablespoon. Now, I've got some sesame oil, once again, very, very strong, so just a couple of drops of that baby there. And then, of course, for some extra bit of sour, I've got some rice wine vinegar, which is... nice. Have a smell. That's beautiful, isn't it?
And that's got that little bit of that sharpness, but it also has that just hint of sweetness to it as well.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Now, I've got these lovely fillet tenderloin, which is probably the most expensive cut. Nice and tasty. You can see there's not a lot of fat on there. We could add some fat if you wanted to, but what I'll do is just mix that around a little bit. Now, we're using fillet. Normally, I would marinate overnight, but there's a lot of acid in this dressing here, or in this marinade, so I'm only going to put them in there for a couple of minutes. So just pop them in there like that.
It smells great. I mean, I can smell the sharpness of the vinegar and that ginger beer. It's really interesting. I can't work out if it's the ginger or the ginger beer, but it smells sweeter.
Now, I'm also going to put some salt in there. If I'm marinating, I wouldn't put a lot of salt in there. We can always add it later on.
And you've got the soy, so you've got heaps of salt in there.
There we go. And a lot of pepper. I do like lots of pepper in there as well. Now, over here, I've got a carrot and some daikon here. I want you to use the grater here. This is for the sauce, and grate that up. Probably 2/3 of the carrot and about 2/3 of the daikon as well. What I'm going to do is reach around you here and grab some of this coriander, and I'm just going to give this a bit of a rough chop. Now, I reckon the fillet's probably picked up a little bit of that flavour already. Now, you could let it go for longer, but what I'll do is actually pop it on the grill now and turn it around. And if you want to give it more flavour, you can always pop a little bit of that marinade on top of it as it cooks and glazes. Now, once again, I've got my pan on. I've got it on a medium heat. So I don't want to have it too hot, Zoe. And what I'm going to do is just pop a tiniest bit of oil on here. We don't need a lot. Drizzle some of that off there and pop that on there. Look at that. It's starting to sizzle already. That's what you want to see. There we go. The heat's coming into it. On the side there.
Music to your ears,
It is music to my ears. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach across you here, Zoe, and grab 2 buns. These are lovely little buns which I've cut in half already. And I'm just going to pop them on the grill here. Now, this is something you can do. If you want to toast your buns, you can use a toaster, pop it under the griller, onto your barbecue plate. But I like to just pop it onto the grill here like that. Now, just let that sizzle away. You can see that sizzling. And you've got a little bit of colour on there. Just move it over there. But you can smell that glaze already.
No, it's lovely. I mean, it smells like it's just caramelising. It's got that really beautiful look to it as well.
Beautiful. Now, I'm going to reach across you here, grab some of these chillies. That slaw's looking lovely. I'll grab one of these chillies here. I want it to be nice and hot. So what I'll do is I'm just going to chop it up nice and rough with the seeds and everything else in it. Because it's you and me. You like it hot and spicy, don't you?
I love spicy food. So for me, perfect. But for those faint at heart, you probably don't even have to put it in if you don't want to. And
what you like about the chilli is watching me sweat, because every time I eat chilli, I just drip with sweat. I love it, but it just really gets to me.
Well, it's because it's got that thermogenic property to it, so it's also getting your metabolism activated as well. So it can burn off all the excess sugar and salt and probably other indulgent things that you have on a regular basis.
Something like that. It just makes me sweat a lot. Now, what I'm going to do is pop that there. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to grab some of these deep-fried shallots, which are nice and crunchy. In they go. They give it a lovely bit of crunch. Also, sesame seeds can go in there as well. I've got some vinegar there, nice and sharp. There's the sour part of it. I've also got something over there, which is my favourite, mayonnaise.
You love this mayonnaise, don't you?
It's Japanese mayonnaise. They call it Kewpie mayonnaise. It's one of my favourite things.
So just a tablespoon, no doubt.
Throw the whole lot in. The whole bloody lot in there. A little splush of extra virgin olive oil there as well.
And look, I mean, I've got to say it, I know you don't like me altering your recipes, but if you didn't want to have that much volume of mayonnaise, maybe avocado or yogurt, more olive oil.
You just don't learn, do you?
Oh, no, it's so silly, isn't it?
There we go. So I put some salt in there as well and some pepper. Now, what I want you to do is get in there with your hands, mix it all up so the coleslaw comes together. With your spoon. I'm thinking like I'm at home because I would normally get my hand in there and mix it up. Just mix it around there with the spoon so it's nice and neat. And what I'll do is I'll turn these steaks over. Look at that. Glazing up beautifully. Look at that. The coleslaw is just about ready. The steak's got a couple of minutes to go. The buns are toasting. We'll have this cleaned up and we'll be ready to eat our lovely steak sandwich with the sweet and sour glaze and coleslaw. OK, Zoe, the steak's ready. I've got these buns nicely toasted. Look at that, nice and golden.
Beautiful.
I love these burger buns. They're really soft and buttery.
And sweet.
And sweet, which is what I like. There we go. Because it is sweet and sour, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. You got me there, you see.
We go. Now, I'll put the little steak on top of here like this, and you can imagine you could slice it up if you wanted to, but I just like, if you're going to have a steak sandwich, it's got to be a steak. You've got to be eating, you know, a little steak sandwich on a bun. Now,
a little steak sandwich.
Well, it is a little steak sandwich for me. What I'll do is I'll grab some of this slaw, which I know you love.
Yeah,
lots of herbs and lots of flavour in there.
Yeah, put the chilli in there for me. Yum.
Nice and hot. And the thing about a steak sandwich or a burger or whatever you want to call it, when you eat it, the juices have got to run down your elbow, so that's really important.
It's true. It's the pleasure of, like, getting messy when you're eating, isn't it?
There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is my little trick is I put a skewer between the two like that, push it down a little bit. I'm going to grab my knife and cut all the way through. Look at that. And grab my plate here. Looks like a nice fine dining plate.
Fantastic.
I'm going to grab it like that, pop it onto the plate there so it looks nice and delicious. What do you think of that?
I like it. I mean, you know, obviously there's a couple of changes I've made, but I like this particular, you know, portion for me. Perfect.
Looks good. It's nice and tasty.
Yum. That is really good.
Sweet and sour. Juice is dripping everywhere, which is really important. It's nice and tender meat.
It's fantastic. Really tasty. You know, I love the freshness of that coleslaw. It works really well for me. A bit messy, but hey, that's fun. I like that.
I can't wait to try your barramundi.